And when the Republican candidates for governor debate tonight here on NBC 10, I know a lot of people will be hoping to get some insight from candidate Gio Feroce about the central theme of his campaign, which is making Rhode Island a hub for blockchain technology. Maybe we can get some advance insight on that now from Mark Murphy. He's the editor of the Providence Business News, and the cover story of the current edition of the paper profiles candidate Giovanni Feroce. They've been profiling all the candidates. Feroce this time. Okay, blockchain. I always thought that was loosely based on cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and a little bit shady.
Well, no, cryptocurrencies are actually based on blockchain technology. So it's the other way around.
All right.
The basic technology in blockchain, it's kind of a, I'm no expert, I will admit that. I'm not sure Mr. Feroce is either, but it really is about distributed computing. In other words, many different people, many different computers will record a transaction. And by having many computers record a certain transaction, and everyone accepts that as true, all of a sudden you have what should be a very secure database of information, because it's too large and too dispersed to be able to hack and change and other odds and ends.
He says it'll replace the internet. It's more secure than the internet.
Well, that's an odd way to phrase it, because it uses the internet, right? Without the internet, you can't communicate between computers. But the key is this massive network of computers recording the same transaction in openly recording it. And that's one of the, I can remember at World Trade Day at Bryant University, they had a number of sessions on blockchain. And one of the issues for a lot of companies that are considering it, and there are companies that are using it, has to do with the fact that it's public. So if you have proprietary information, you don't want that out there in the, used as blockchain. So in the interview, he talks about the DMV, being able to use it. Well, if personal information is in your, your file with the DMV, do you want that out there in a blockchain sort of distributive computing system? And I'm not sure that that's necessarily what you want.
All right, very quickly on some other issues. He says his messaging is clearly better than the existing governor, Gina Raimondo. And as for candidate Patricia Morgan, her message is just no, stop everything. He has a more, what kind of approach?
Well, I think he has, it's interesting, all three of the major candidates, which is he, Morgan, and Cranston Mayor Ellen Fung, have a certain orthodox Republican view of government. Smaller is better. It frees the market to work its magic. Cutting taxes. He even says he would eliminate the income tax. Now we're talking about $1.3 to $1.6 billion a year, and asked how he would pay for it, he said, well, he'd eliminate entire departments, the DMV among them, using blockchain to replace it.
Wow.
He calls himself a disruptive candidate, and there's no question that there would be major disruption if he were put in the office.
As much more about Feroce in the current edition of the Providence Business News in print online. Thank you, Mark, for joining us.
Thank you, Frank.